So I started my profession when I worked for a property developer. So one day he came to me, gave me about 30 keys. I kind of screamed inside because I had no idea what I was doing, but I absolutely loved it. So I not only managed but let his properties for him and did that for about 7 years. Because I loved it so much and I really enjoyed properties and helping people and dealing with people, it was a natural progression for me to become an estate agent. So I started at the bottom, worked my way up, worked for corporates, larger independents. Yes, and now I'm here with the agency UK. I think when I first started a estate agency, I thought, it's going to be really glamorous and I'm going to be doing this, I'm going to be doing that, and I'll be selling £1 million houses. What I love about estate agents is helping people, realising that dream, making them feel happy, handing those set of keys over to a seller or a buyer at the end. Yeah, it's an amazing feeling. So 20 years down the line, I still get that buzz. And just putting a smile on people's faces, really. When I worked in the high street, so I loved working in the high street. There was another, I didn't like the office, politics, let's say, which I won't discuss. There was elements about a high street that I didn't like. The 9 to 5, 9 to 6, when people wanted to get hold of you, they couldn't do. I always wanted to be hands-on with people. I always wanted to give a little bit more to an individual. There's no stupid questions, and there's only ones that you don't ask, isn't there, really? So I always wanted then to have that sort of 7 days a week availability. I kind of learnt that over the last 7 years that was a real benefit for people. That clear and transparent information, no matter how simple it might be, you make an appointment with a customer at the very beginning. They know when you're coming round, they know what they expect from you, but you're also going to ask them, what do you want out of this? What do you need? What's the pluses? What's the minuses? Where do you need to be? Having a time frame with not only customers but buyers, so they know that I'm going to call them, on a Monday. I'm going to call them on a Friday. They know what they're expecting. Even if I haven't got the answer, they're still going to get a call from me. Someone that deals with me, they get me. So from the very start, from the appointment in the front room, me discussing with them about their property, how we can market, the strategy that we're using, to the very, very end. So what I mean by that, so I produce a set of details for them. They get to approve it. I qualify every buyer that comes through the door, so they know that I've spoke to Mr. Smith, for argument's sake. I know his position. I'm conducting that viewings. I'm trying to give immediate feedback to that seller straight after the appointment. Not every person's going to say exactly what they feel, because they may have 10 or 20 properties they're viewing in that sort of day. An offer comes through the door, I qualify that offer. So I know all about that individual, so when I can put it through to my seller, that seller knows everything about that person. And it's about qualifying them so they can make an informed decision when they're ready. I don't expect an instant answer, me phoning up and etc. So what do you think then? Nah, come on. They would want to then take their time, maybe speak to their partner, maybe take an evening to then discuss it. Is that the right buyer for them? That's the easy part. Selling a property might sound a bit blasé, but that's the easy part of the job. It's the process after that. Because I work for myself, I'm not getting paid an office wage, so I need to make sure I've got the right buyer, paying the best money, and make sure I see it through to the end. That process is quite laborious. It needs time. You need to keep on to that solicitor, on to that buyer, on to that mortgage broker. Make sure you communicate everything with, not only with the buyer, but also with the seller, importantly, and see it right through to the end. Sometimes it's very painful, but it's just a process that we do in this country. There's never a problem. I appreciate that it's very stressful. I want to take some of that stress out of that process, so it just tries and streamlines it a lot more. This is what I do, this is what I'm used to. There's never a problem. It's about problem solving and making sure we get the right result at the end. See, I love Bournemouth, and I think most people are attracted to Bournemouth because of the beach. I think that's probably the biggest thing. Over the last 18 months, we've had hordes of people come to Bournemouth. So Bournemouth, it's got great coastline. It's many awards, not only for the beach but also for the sea. But that's That's a fraction of what Bournemouth's about. There's great architecture in Bournemouth. There's a beautiful garden which runs about 1.5 miles long, right through from Koi Pond right through to the seafront. There's many events that go on, like the air show that happened a couple of weeks ago. These are all free. So anyone can then, 800,000 people arrived on Bournemouth over that sort of 4-day period. And it's all free. But if you like a busy cosmopolitan lifestyle, then the town centre and surrounding areas offers all of that, whether it's a restaurant, whether it's bars. But if you then want the family, that great school, that quiet cul-de-sac, there's always a place for any buyer. So if buyers ask me, well, what do you want? What do you need to achieve? Where do you want to be? Most buyers kind of got an idea, but there's certain elements that they might not even looked at. Bournemouth, to me, is like the California of the South Coast. It does have elements where people are very hobby orientated. They're into their sports, water sports, whether it's skating, or roller skating or skateboarding, biking, etc., right through to horse riding. The New Forest is a 20-minute drive, and it's a national park. It's amazing. So I'm very fortunate that I live in an area where it's so diverse. It's very cosmopolitan. I love that element about it. There's no two individuals that are ever the same in Bournemouth, and I'm sure lots of people could say the same, but I wouldn't be anywhere else in the UK anyway.